Hi, hello and welcome everybody. It is Pohx again. So today I kind of have some really there we go. Audio was turned off for a second. I have some really unfortunate and fortunate news, I guess, kind of going both ways for you guys. So yesterday, for those of you guys who know and who don't know, the expansion for Path of Exile: The Awakening went live, and it's a huge expansion. It was new leagues that came out, with Lockstep that came out, which was the removal of desync, with item filters, with a bunch of new skills, a bunch of uniques, overall just really good changes. But at the same time, to me personally, there were a lot of things that I didn't like. Not necessarily with the patch itself, but more along the lines of how the developers have been handling the game of Path of Exile. And of course, don't get me wrong, Path of Exile is a great game. That's why I'm talking about it now. That's why I've played it for 3 years. That's why, I continue to play it and whatnot. But, I was just really upset yesterday because of some things I don't necessarily want to go into right now, because it's not good to talk about a game when it's, fresh off. It's best to let your body and, yourself just cool down and whatnot. But it's nothing that really that affects players now. It's only that would affect players like myself who've been playing it for, quite a long time. So anyway, I was just super heated yesterday. I turned off my stream. I tried playing again. I took a little nap, and I felt a lot better. But in the end, I was still super heated, and I didn't really like the way things were happening with the game. And just a slight example, because I've waited a day before I made this video, is I used to race, not necessarily like super competitively, because I didn't, but there were times when I would take racing very seriously in the game. And some prime examples are, when Endless Ledge comes out. Endless Ledge is a race where you don't have to memorize layouts. I'm terrible at memorizing layouts. I'm just not good at it. It's just something that's not fun for me. It feels like homework to me to memorize a layout. So I don't participate in those races, nor do I acknowledge the fact that, I don't tell people I'm good at those, because I'm not. But when the start of a league occurs, that's my time to shine. That's when I take the game very seriously. That's when I want to race, and I've shown that in the past. Twice now on new leagues I've played Fire Trap, and going solo against people in 6-man parties, I've came up #1. I'm making a video. So, those are some really on point times where it's really important to me. Whereas I do take racing very seriously depending at what state in the game it is. Now, some just minor things, because again, I don't want to talk about it too much, that they did is the way the meta is kind of shifting is, after playing beta for so long, I kind of saw this happen, and it's kind of like they kind of hurt Prolif early game. They made it okay end game, but they just brought like totems in. So totems right now are just obscene, and same thing with melee. If you want to make a melee character viable in the early stages of the game, and you want to just skyrocket yourself in melee, you go armor based with iron reflexes, with fortify, with endurance charges, and that's it. And in this specific scenario of the game, with the race where the prize pool was, $1,500 essentially, it was I think it was an Alienware laptop. Regardless of the thing, it was a big prize pool. My Fire Trap had no competition in there, which is fine. But the things that were competing, it was just really silly. I have nothing against the players. Don't get me wrong. Congratulations to them. I probably wouldn't have beaten them regardless. But it's just, I didn't have a choice of the matter because of, I guess, the way the meta was shifting, where it's literally like, you have an option of maybe 5 select builds to play. You literally could not play Evasion if you wanted to kill the boss, Malachi. You had to do some type of defensive build. You had to do this, you had to do that, you had to do this. And it just really makes it upsetting for someone like me, again, who that is the part I take very seriously in the game, is that start. And I guess kind of just, maybe I'm just taking it a little too extreme again, because, I've been playing a build Fire Trap for like a year now, and it got hit really hard, whereas other builds did not. I don't really know exactly the reason for it. I don't know if I'm over-exaggerating some things. I personally don't think I am, because I've had a lot of people tell me the same exact thing, people who have quit the game for a year. But again, this is not a video directed towards hating Path of Exile. The moral of the story of this video is, I used to play games a lot more seriously. I used to play games a lot more competitively, and I've kind of lost my touch, and I've told you guys that, and some of you guys may have seen that, some of you guys may have not. and my buddy came over and he was telling me about other games, and people always recommend games in my chat, and I'm like, yeah, I don't want to check it out right now. I'm a little busy, so I won't check it out this moment, but I'll gladly check them out in the future. And I was looking at some other MMOs and whatnot, and I was MMOs / action role-playing games, and I was looking at a game, Lost Ark, for example, which I know a lot of you guys are interested in. And when I was just looking at the detail in the game, it makes me not want to play Path of Exile almost, just because it feels like, I think the reason why I can't take games very seriously in this current state is I've been playing the same game now for 3.5, 4 years. When I went to Arcage, I played the game very competitively in Arcage. I played Arcage extremely competitively because it was something new, it was another fresh start, and I think that's really what I need. I don't necessarily want to quit Path of Exile, because when I woke up today, I was like, I wouldn't mind playing Path of Exile. But that's not the attitude I want to have when I play games. I want to wake up. I want to wake up because I want to play games, It's not like school where you wake up and you're like, well, I don't mind going to school. I don't want to have to mind to do something. I want to, because of my job right now with streaming and YouTubing, it goes against my own standards of saying, this is the best job in the world. I have so much fun doing it. Because if I'm not having fun doing it, I'm lying to other people, and I'm lying to myself. And I don't ever want that to happen. So, I'm not necessarily sure 100% on what I'm going to do again, because, I still need to die down and cool off, but I think that I'm going to really, calm down on my Path of Exile playing, and there's a new game that got released for Skyforge, so I really do want to, or Skyforge itself got released about 24 hours ago, and I really do want to jump into that. And hopefully a lot of you guys will understand this, because I know I have a very divided community. My community is like hybrid Path of Exile, hybrid Arcage, and then other games that I've played and Let's Plays and whatnot of other stuff, or maybe just stupid, vlogs I've released kind of like this. So I really do hope that you guys will understand. And, if there's something I said that was wrong or incorrect, drop it down in the comments below, and I will gladly apologize if I've offended anybody personally. But, I don't know, it's just, as of right now, when I've looked at other games like Lost Ark, just a short example of it, the graphics are phenomenal. On top of the graphics being phenomenal, there's like open world grinding in an action role-playing game, and like dungeon enclosed grinding. There's bosses, there's world bosses, there's like actual crafting. It's like the future right now. It's crazy. I can't wait to look at these games. So I'm really excited to play them. And again, with Skyforge, I want to just chill out, relax with some of my buddies and play some Skyforge. But again, I hope you guys have enjoyed this. I don't know if the clicker here in the background can make me sound serious by any means when I say I'm a hardcore player. But but anyway, again, I hope you guys understood, kind of like the moral of this video and whatnot. So I hope to catch you guys later. I hope you guys are enjoying yourselves, and I hope you guys, don't face the same issue I have. And before I get into it, right before I end the video, this had nothing to do with me playing beta for an extended period of time. I didn't really want to go into my set reason, because I don't want to bash on Path of Exile. I want to wait a week. I think a week is fair before I give an analysis of the league itself, because game devs have more than enough time. They want to put an unfinished state in so that people can play it, and then people will give feedback, and then they will alter it. So I do not feel it would be right for me to assess and give the full explanation of why I don't want to play it until I wait a week to see what they've done with the game. And I'm doing that out of respect of the game, I'm not this angry YouTuber that goes across games and points out the flaws. So, I'm trying to handle this a little bit more mature than I have, in the past, because I am growing up. And, growing up's a big thing, boys. So anyway, again, I hope you guys enjoyed yourself, and I will catch you guys all later. Have fun in Path of Exile, everybody.